Have you ever wondered why there is such wealth inequality in the world? Why is it that the top 1% of the population are considered the richest? These, among many other questions, is what we intend to find out. Hey Mara, who do you think the elite are?
I think the elite are the top 1% of our population that control all the resources, politicians, government. That's who I think the elite are.
I think the elite are rich and powerful people who seem to consist mostly of white people.
Hey Mara, how do you think the elite collaborate to stay in power?
I think the elite collaborate by monopolizing and by controlling all the resources.
I think the elite probably keep a very tight-knit group. They probably meet and discuss the different ideas, and they're able to basically control that way by keeping their ideas to within themselves. Mara, do you think everyone has the same opportunities here in the United States?
I believe that no, not everyone has the same opportunities because not everyone has access to the same level of education, quality of education.
No, I don't think everybody has the same opportunities here in America because a lot of people don't have the same educational backgrounds. And I've heard from different classes that sometimes your opportunities are based on your race and ethnic background.
I think everyone does have somewhat of the same opportunities. The resources are there. Unfortunately, I think a lot of the minorities are intimidated or maybe just don't know how to get to the correct resources. Ultimately, the rich do have a little bit better access to it and just know how to use it better. Guys, why do you think there is such a large gap between the elite and the rest of the population?
I think there's a large gap between the elite and the rest of the population because of the economical resources. Not everybody makes the same amount of money. What do you think, Mara?
I think education is a big one. Not everyone has the same access to the quality of education. Most of the members of the elite, went to Ivy League universities. Therefore, they have connections, social connections. So
That creates a big difference what school you go to, and also not all schools have the same resources. Some of them are not funded as much, and there's also I think the social network idea. A lot of minorities don't have communications in higher positions.
yeah, and I think that sometimes through the social connection, sometimes it's not so much what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, I believe that too. And back to opportunities in jobs, job differences are a lot of the time based on education. So the higher the education you have, the most likely you're gonna have a better job.
And I feel like if you're competing for a job with, like, if you attended, I don't know, let's say Houston, right? Let's say our university, right? Versus somebody that maybe went to like Harvard or something, I feel like they're more likely to get that job than someone that attended our university or I don't know, community college or whatnot. Do you think there are any additional resources that the minorities can use to lessen the gap?
I think there is. I think they have power in numbers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that a lot of times minorities get a little intimidated by the groups that the elite do create and almost kind of
Forget that they have any power themselves.
That they could actually do the same, accomplish the same if they did kind of join instead of really trying to counteract or fight against or attacking the rich or the elite.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to build themselves up by creating powers and therefore
They have political power, they have organizational power, they also have power of social power and organizing in their own communities.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
And then even educational, maybe building scholarships, funds, and of course they're not going to be maybe as powerful as the ones that elite have, but it's better to start.
Yeah, and I think there is definitely a lot of resources out there. Again, I think it's maybe even education. It all goes back to education. If we don't educate them and remind people that these resources are available and constantly encourage them, then they don't go after them. You know, they feel like, well, maybe I'm not smart enough, or maybe I won't get it because, you know, someone else will get it who's richer than me or whoever. But I think it's an intimidation. Yeah.
But I think it's also important to educate ourselves, that way we're able to educate others.
Correct.
So, you know, if we can't pass the information down, then they're not going to ever get it. So they're never going to know that they have power, they have potential to become somebody, and hopefully that way, you know, be able to lessen that gap, get into higher positions little by little, and you know, and that way, once they're in a high position, they can also go back and help the community.